Timothy Ruiz takes his first career Pro Laps pole award in the first round of tonight's doubleheader here at the quarter-mile hole-in-the-wall Sayre Speedway in Alabama. 39 cars showed up for the 66.6 Christline Mongomery Twin 66s, one short of a full field. So race 1 will start 20 cars, and race 2 will start 19. And now we take you trackside for the highlights of race number 1. Ruiz leads the field to the green. He's got a lot of big names breathing down his neck. Bob Steffens and Kevin Monroe among them, but he's able to keep his cool through turns 1 and 2 as Steffens slides high. Roy Warren jumps into second place as Ruiz leads the field around turn 4 to lead the first lap, but we've got a crash already. Mark Thompson and Max Hollifield are around on the front stretch. Hollifield gets a little bit of help from Billy Bob Childers. That sends the one around, and a couple cars in the back are going to pile in. Harrison Belcher has a lot of damage on the front end of that 28 car, the second Roos Autosport entry. The crew's going to have to pull the entire front end off of that car, but every car involved is going to continue. Ruiz has a tire go down while leading under this caution, so that hands the lead over to Roy Warren. Packer Carroll has made his way up to second. Bob Steffens challenging defending champion Chuck Johnson for third. Heading into turn 3, Mark Thompson is a lap down, and he's holding up some of the leaders. And Mark Thompson goes around again to bring out the caution for the second time tonight. But we still got to race back to the caution. Bob Steffens tries to get to the bumper of Packer Carroll, but has to settle for third as Roy Warren continues to lead. Kevin Monroe had a tire go down under this caution, but he wastes no time on the restart, getting around a ton of the slower cars. But the closer he gets back to the front, the harder it's going to be to work through traffic, as you're going to see Timothy Ruiz just a few positions ahead of him, still struggling to work his way forward. And now it's time for the leaders to encounter the slow cars, as Lev Azarov and Packer Carroll are held up by the 06 of David Bloom. These lapped cars are really going to be stacking people up, causing problems for the leaders, as Packer Carroll forces his way through the middle of Bob Steffens and Lev Azarov, sending Azarov into the wall. And Azarov is going to drive straight into the pits and out of the race. Danica Hollifield's slow on the track as well. She had a spin coming back to the line. Tough break for Azarov, who was running in 5th, but Roy Warren gets a huge jump on everyone else as Harrison Belcher restarted second in line. Tom Brayton gets turned around by Packer Carroll coming to the restart, but this doesn't bring out the caution. Johnson Clapp, who won 2 races as a rookie last year, has climbed his way up to second, making his first start of the season in the number 64 for M&J Racing as he starts to chase down Roy Warren. The caution is out. Bob Steffens has smacked the wall off of turn 4, so that's going to be the end of the race for Steffens, who finished second at Texas World last week. So this is going to hurt his momentum in the early part of the season. Coming to the restart, Packer Carroll's engine is going to give up on him. The field's going to come around and get the caution immediately. I can't imagine that Packer Carroll's little rampage did him any good, but coming back to the line, Johnson Clapp gets under Roy Warren and takes the lead. Working lap 36 now, just past the halfway point, and you see Timothy Ruiz has made his way back up into 4th place, so maybe he can be a contender again after pitting during the first caution. Or not. Ruiz has to pit for another cut tire, and he's going to have to drop all the way back again. Harrison Belcher is finally going to be done in by Tom Brayton, who was running all the way back in 16th, a few laps down, and that contact with the inside wall is going to take out the second Roos Autosport car. Billy Bob Childers roughs up Billy Ray Smith-Thompson for 3rd place, and Ruiz has nowhere to go but into the back of the 2. So another stroke of bad luck for Tim Ruiz in the 112. Again, pure pole sitter, but that's been the only highlight of his night. Billy Ray Smith-Thompson crossed the line in 6th, but he didn't take long to start making up some ground, and he would soon creep up on Billy Bob Childers and challenge him, trying to take back his rightful 3rd spot, diving into turn 3. It looks like he may have gotten into the side of the 16 a little bit, showing that he didn't appreciate being put into the wall. But Smith-Thompson's going to move on, satisfied with simply being faster than the 16 and not taking any further vengeance. Childers is trying to challenge back around the outside, which is not quite the preferred line. He slides up into the wall and is going to lose another spot to Danica Hollifield. Chuck Johnson, defending series champion, has made his way up to second place, but now he's battling lap traffic, getting by the slow cars of David Bloom and Maury Holter. Chuck Johnson, as we approach 5 laps to go, is definitely making good on his effort to improve upon his 21st place finish in the season opener at Texas World. Relegated to that spot with mechanical woes. Battle for 7th. Max Hollifield trying to get by Kevin Monroe, using David Bloom as a pick, but almost gets taken out. And now he's got to check up for the 3 getting into the back of the 49. Here comes Mark Thompson on the inside, but Max Hollifield attempts to split the lapped cars down the middle, but puts himself into the wall. That puts Mark Thompson in the battered number 1 car up into 7th. That number 1 car, of course, entered by his longtime short track and ASCC friends at Gulf Motorsports. And behind these guys, running in 9th, Archer Helms in his series debut has kept that 153 car for Spray and Saito pretty clean. But Tim Ruiz is all over his back bumper, trying to change that. Ruiz fell off the lead lap after spinning into the pit lane, but used the opportunity to change over to fresh tires, so he's one of the fastest cars on the track. But even faster is the race leader, Johnson Clapp, who has just taken the white flag. And it's going to be clear sailing for Johnson Clapp, making his first start of the year. First start for M&J Racing. Clapp takes the victory in round 1 of tonight's doubleheader. Clapp also grabs a total of 25 bonus points for leading the most laps and making up the most positions from the start of the race. 16 cars finished the race, 8 of them on the lead lap. Roy Warren, after leading 30 laps, is the highest finishing rookie. The Hollifield cousins grab a pair of top 10s, as well as Archer Helms and Marco DeBeest in their series debuts. Timothy Ruiz's night could have gone much better after starting on the pole, and rounding out the field will be Bob Steffens, the second place finisher last week, and Lev Azarov. Now looking at the lineup for race 2, Riley Durbin takes the pole over Rick Forrest, last week's winner. Rick Forrest started on the outside of the front row in his series debut here last season. And then looking back to 8th, Greg Gray in car number 8, making his first start of the season for Pearson Sweeney Motorsports. And then looking towards the back, we have 3 debutantes, Cedric Walwer, Alex Mazzone, and Michael Campbell, who just purchased a car from the Crastas. And Dale Clow will start shotgun on the field in car 0. Riley Durbin leads the field to the green in that impossible-to-miss black and teal 93 car. But Rick Forrest, last week's winner, gets off to a slow start and finds himself on top of a 3-wide situation. Kurt Walker forces his way to 3rd as Jim Kidd gets under the 93. At the line is going to be Durbin leading the first lap, but Kidd has the preferred line, and Kyle Pearson has gone around on the front stretch to bring the yellow out on lap 2. Riley Durbin settles into second place, as we see that Kenny George has gotten into the back of the 78 and sent him into the wall. So just like in the first race, the caution comes out almost immediately. Kyle Pearson has the back end of that car caved in, but he's trying to get back up to speed. Riley Durbin has a slow restart. Kurt Walker almost turns him around. Now gets under the 93. He's going to make the move for second place as Jim Kidd in the 18 tries to pull away. Durbin's trying to keep up. He hasn't lost a ton of ground, so it doesn't look like he's got a problem or anything. He just couldn't get going on the restart and almost caused a crash. Hunter Blaze in the 17 going for 4th place on Monica Rook as the leaders start to encounter some of the slow cars. Dale Clow and Michael Campbell at 43. Campbell washes up into the wall, gets himself out of the way. That's nice of him. Kidd and Walker pull away. Walker trying to close in on the 18 as Dalton Johnson in the 40, driving for Stan Coleman this year, now gets out of the way. But Kidd soon gets stuck behind the 53 of Cedric Walwer. Kurt Walker takes advantage and zooms by to take over the lead, which of course is a very familiar position for Walker. After all, he is a former two-time series champion in the FARC Low Dollar Series. But his trips to victory lane have been reduced along with his schedule in recent years. His last win was in 2013 in Memphis, Tennessee, and now he gets stuck behind the 43 of Michael Campbell. Jim Kidd gave him the boot as Riley Durbin dove under the 18, but Walker is able to hang on to the lead. Things are not going the way Rick Forrest had hoped. He has fallen back to 13th after starting second, and that's not going to help him either as he runs into the stopped car of Todd Stater. Caution flag comes out once again on lap 20. We got a restart on lap 24, but Dalton Johnson's going to bring out the caution immediately as he slides into the wall. Dale Clow in the 0 joins him. Dalton Johnson had very high hopes for tonight's race, telling his followers on social media to look out for that 40 car. Clearly, his competitors should look out for him as well. Kurt Walker continues to lead on the restart, hoping to get more than one green flag lap this time. Riley Durbin again lags behind, causing a bit of a stack up, but we immediately get another caution flag, so we're going to have to wait a little while longer to get another shot at a green flag run. Riley Durbin finally gets a good restart, diving under the 18 of Jim Kidd, trying to take that second place back, as Kurt Walker looks to pull away from the field once again. Where is Cedric Walber going? Whatever. Jim Kidd falls back. Zach Webster now takes over the third spot. I bet he's feeling good about how tonight's shaping up after the disastrous 2016 season he had. But the leaders are going to be encountering lap traffic once again. Kurt Walker trying to navigate his way around Dale Clow and Alex Mazzone. Mazzone hits the wall, and it's a roadblock of back markers. Zach Webster goes around. He was trying to pick off Riley Durbin for second place, and now he finds himself in the wall. Rick Forrest not doing himself any favors, still trying to recover from his bad start, but he finds himself getting into the side of the 83 of Ashley Tucker. But he does appear to be faster than Tucker. Dalton Johnson goes for a slide up the track, but we stay green as Rick Forrest now takes over the 10th position. But Tucker's not giving up. Remember, she was one of the victims of the late race problems that all the leaders had at Texas World, so she's not going to want to surrender another battle to Rick Forrest. Getting into the side of Forrest now, so clearly she didn't appreciate that nudge he gave her a few laps ago, and Tucker takes the spot back. Some very good racing throughout the field, the kind of battle you'll only see at a bull ring like this. Kenny George makes his way up to second as the laps click away. You see Harry Essenola in the 45 has now made his way up into the top 5. But now with 15 laps to go, the leaders are going to have another wave of negotiations with the lapped cars. No problems with them so far, but Kenny George slows off the exit at turn 4. Enola gets into the back of him, and the front stretch is now getting blocked as Hunter Blaze and Todd Stater join in. Kenny George stalled in the middle of the track. Kyle Pearson nowhere to go, and now Kurt Walker runs into him. The race leader has gotten caught up in this wreck. Kurt Walker was coming around to see the yellow flag. Instead, he saw the back of the 78. So Walker is now out after looking like he was on his way to his first win in 4 years. This hands the lead back over to Jim Kidd, who gets a good jump on Riley Durbin. So it looks like Durbin's restart woes are coming back, and he's running out of laps to make up for them. Ashley Tucker now goes around after having made her way up into third, but the starter's not looking like he's gonna throw the yellow for this for some reason. So Tucker's gonna lose a whole bunch of spots, but Dalton Johnson now goes around off the exit of 2. Now that brings out the caution. So better late than never for Ashley Tucker, I suppose. But this comes with just 7 laps to go. And as Tucker settles into 8th place all the way from 3rd, it's looking like we're going to have a shootout deciding this race for the 2nd week in a row. We've got a few players in the top 5 who have worked all night to get there. Harry Essenola and Greg Gray among them. Rick Forrest has made his way all the way up to 6th. Jim Kidd leads. Just 1 lap to go, and he gets a very good start over Riley Durbin. But Durbin is hanging on. Can he make a move? Coming into turn 3, Kidd washes up the track. Durbin to the inside, but Kidd takes his second career FARC Low Dollar Series victory. Jim Kidd and Riley Durbin come away with the same number of points, Riley Durbin being helped by leading a lap and, of course, winning the pole, which carries a 20-point bonus. Harry Asinola grabs the 10-point High Climber Award after starting in 12th and finishing 3rd. Zach Webster is probably going to be celebrating that 4th place finish like it was a victory. Greg Gray grabs the top 5, Rick Forrest a top 10, riding the momentum from his Texas victory. Ashley Tucker couldn't recover from that spin, but of course she only had 1 lap to do it. John Burr grabs himself a top 10, and poor Kurt Walker, after leading the most laps, dropped out of the race and finishes 15th. And Cedric Walwer finishes last after dropping out on lap 36. Now let's have a look at the point standings, where Rick Forrest continues to hold the lead, 68 points over Mark Thompson, who takes the 2nd spot from Bob Steffens, thanks to Steffens' crash tonight. Austin Howard did not race tonight, but he is still 4th in the standings. Riley Durbin, after a 2nd place finish tonight, is 7th. He'll be hopping in between 2 different rides this season, so effectively running the full schedule. Zach Webster and defending series champion Chuck Johnson both find themselves solidly in the top 10. Timothy Ruiz sits 14th despite flipping his car over at Texas and dropping like a rock tonight. And Johnson Clapp and Jim Kidd, with their victories tonight, both break into the top 20. There will be no rest for the FARC Low Dollar Series, as the next race will be tomorrow. The 1 mile Lakewood Speedway in Georgia will be the site of the first dirt race of the year. And you will be able to catch all the action right here on the FARC Racing Network.